Hello, welcome back to the ESL Pro League Season 7, the NA Division. It is match day number 10, and you're joining the B stream here if you have decided to tune in. Splyce between OpTic Gaming going to be our next series coming up, which should be an exciting one. Mitch in the back was fanboying about the EU boys and OpTic Gaming. I'm not so certain about that because I do love the players from Splyce myself. You don't anymore. You've just gone like, no longer friends with Splyce, now best friends with OpTic Gaming.
I mean, I do follow Davey on Twitter because he makes some pretty great tweets.
Oh,
but
Davey's the best.
I'm a fan of the Davey and Semphis tweets, but that's about as far as my support for Splyce goes in this series.
Oh, you've changed, Mitch. You've changed. Is it because Mitch doesn't play for Splyce now, does he, anymore?
No, he plays for Dignitas and they're going 0-6, so that's a pretty accurate representation of how I would go in Pro League as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's not easy. Not easy playing against some of these teams. Very easy for us to criticize, but it's a completely different ball game when you are playing it. The levels there are insanely high. Like, we'll go in these mid-tier teams and go, oh, how can these guys not match up against the top, you know, tier 2, lol. But tier 2, they're still insanely good. Yeah. And that's... Yeah.
I mean, some of them suck, but they play, like, roles that are good enough to,
you
like...
can't just say that.
Well, some of them do suck.
No, they don't. Okay, who does?
You suck, Kev.
I'm not tier 2.
I'm just saying, like, I'm not gonna. Why would I literally pick out people and say this guy sucks?
I don't know. Maybe because you're the kind of person who does so. Take a quick look at the schedule first before Mitch. Mitch is gonna have a big think about who does suck and who doesn't. Don't think any of the teams in the Pro League suck. So earlier on today we had Rogue and Complexity. Pretty one-sided affairs, a 1-1 split, but like we were saying earlier, it wasn't really the team that, I mean, it was a team that got the 16 that just played infinitely better. I don't think fundamentally the team that lost did too many things wrong. They just didn't adapt because they just got counter-adapted. That was the difference that we didn't see in the last season for these guys. Whereas on the mainstream, looks pretty close between LG and Liquid. So Liquid able to take the first map, but down 12-7 the second one. Well, it's looking a little bit tight there. But we're on to our next series now, which is Splyce and OpTic, and it will be Cloud9 versus NRG later on the mainstream. That should be a pretty sick matchup as well.
I'm going to call a 2-0 for NRG.
Yeah, you
it's
believe...
online, mate. Too easy.
Now, you forget about UE2K. Stop pushing through the smokes. Yep. If they, like Cloud9, if they come back a little bit, come back with some form and they get some confidence back up, who knows? They're still a very solid team. Probably just gone a little bit walk around after their major victory, which I think does happen sometimes. They play it out of their minds.
Look at Gambit as well.
Yeah, you play out of your minds a little bit. You know, everyone individually has their peak performances. You can't sustain that forever. No one can sustain a peak performance, and they just got to figure out a way how to make it consistent. I mean, any team in the world. You look at FaZe, for example.
Who's the best team in the world, Kev?
At the moment, too hard to say. You just got too many teams trading victories. It's a cop-out answer. I've never liked... Okay, so this is... Like, even for, like, say, for example, something in Pro League, I never like putting, say, a team going, this is a #1 team, this is a #2 team. I like putting them in tiers, right? So, you know, the teams that you should be expecting at the top, just given by, say, for example, some firepower. In this case, the S tier, it should... I wouldn't include OpTic in the S tier, even though they've got, you know, such good players in config. I put them in the A tier at the moment simply because they haven't had enough practice time. And I think that the results are showing it at the moment. Your S tier teams, like Liquid, like maybe NRG is starting to push for it, but like I said, I have to see a little bit more of NRG before I make a full comment. Your teams like Liquid should be taking all these victories. They're S tier because they should be taking all the victories comfortably. They might split 1-1 apiece with some of the S tier teams. A tier teams have to play absolutely, like, dominating to get a game off the S tier teams. But when you come to the A tier, and this is why I put OpTic there, because they're still having these shaky results. They're not consistently taking the victories against teams they should be. We're looking at their lineup, we're going, geez, this is an amazing lineup. But why aren't they comprehensively demolishing people? That's why they're not S tier. So I don't believe in #1, #2, #3. I believe in tiered.
So like TEARS, right?
Yes, tiers.
Tiers. Like
drinking cans of tears.
Yep.
Like,
Just
no, not that
clarify.
one. Not that one, Mitch. Thank you very much for adding a comedy segment into my serious rants, I guess.
That was a great joke.
It wasn't. It really wasn't a great joke here. And make sure that you do comment saying that this was a terrible joke coming out from Mitch. I want to see some support for me.
No one supports you, Kev.
Oh, come on, man. Everyone supports me. Not everyone. Most people do.
Okay.
You support me. I support you.
Yeah. In like a roundabouts way.
So the rosters for Splyce and OpTic, we have seen a little bit of difference,
Cutler's
obviously.
on Splyce now. That
I
makes
said
things
this
a bit
earlier,
interesting.
dude. Cutler and Exotic
Okay.
going to be on Splyce now.
Exotic.
Exotic was part of the CLG Academy team, if I remember correctly. He did play for a little bit in, I think, Christmas with Christmas Rejects, I think it was, who did decently well.
Unemployed for Christmas.
Unemployed for Christmas.
Great name.
And it looks like he's
they all
managed
had
to,
the Pepe guy with the Santa hat on.
managed to make his
Feels
way into
bad,
Splyce and see what kind of firepower he can bring. So definitely, and I wouldn't say upgrade necessarily. I have to see what happens. Is that someone with a Negev? Who are the CT siders that are Negev there in CT
Whoever
connector?
that is, he is warmed up and ready for this game.
To go. But OpTic Gaming, obviously, you know, that mix of European as well as NA. Not certain how they'll go just yet.
I reckon good.
You think? Do you think this current iteration as 5 will persist, or do you think there will be changes in the future?
Nah, this lineup will never stay together. There's like 0 chance it will ever happen. Because Config is like one of the best players in the world, and this team is never going to be like a top 4 team.
That's confident statements out of you.
Yeah.
What makes you think they're not going to be a top 4 team? Before they're going to win the ESL Pro League, when they go to Dallas and they're going to win the Pro League?
I don't think they can gel well enough together. And I mean, I haven't seen how they play like individually, but in my opinion, Stanislaw's form has not been like good enough as an individual to justify their team being super good. Gade's not got the experience to be super consistent at the top level, even though he's got insane aim. Shazam has never been super consistent without sort of, in my opinion anyway, playing like a little bit baity or playing in a system that really prioritizes him, when in reality he should never be prioritized as like a main star in this team. Cajun's always going to be Cajun B. He'll always go even or better, and he'll win a lot of clutches. That's his strength. And then Config's just insane. But this needs to be like a loose team where all of the players play like super well individually and stuff, and like don't rely on heavy tactics and whatnot. Just like 4-1 death squatting, lots of lurking from whoever, and some aggressive entries from Config. But if they don't play well individually, it's not going to matter.
I'll have to see how well they do play individually. I think most of the people would agree with a OpTic Gaming victory. And taking a quick look at the Betway odds, I'd say it should be reflected there. There you have it. That's pretty good odds for OpTic. But Splyce, we've seen them being the underdogs a couple of times, and there's one thing that I've learnt in my time doing the ESL Pro League is sometimes you should never count Splyce out. There have been times where I'm like, oh, you know, those are some spicy odds for Splyce. Insanely splicey odds. And they managed to win. And I think it was something like, at the time, they were like down in the half 3-12, and I think this was against SK and Inferno, and the odds were something like 1.01 to 15 for Splyce, and Splyce won.
I think
so. You never count these boys out.
I think
tactical adjustment.
Yeah, tactical adjustment.
You think that?
I think Splyce got no chance, mate.
I don't think that. They're going to go down 0-16 on train to make the tactical force into... to make OpTic Gaming disregard them as easy opponents, and just going to roll over them on the next map.
Davey's
a tactical mastermind. You should know
OpTic
this
doing
by now.
in the standings? They're not that good, right?
No, they're not.
I don't get it, though, because, like, I feel like 1 out of 2 games, Config has 100 ADR. How are you guys not winning games?
Yeah, see,
it's like every second game, 100 ADR.
See, Counter-Strike Global Offensive is a team game.
No.
Yes. It's a team game. You need... it is not... You don't have 5 fingers. You have a hand.
Config is the hand. And the rest of them are like some bones in the wrist and whatnot.
I don't think it works like that.
You just uppercuts people.
Don't necessarily think so, but this looks like it's going to be...
What a spot from Davey.
Yep. Config is going to check this, though.
What? Mate.
Config's just like...
What was that about uppercutting and being the whole hand? There you go. Yeah. He's already won the round.
He's the index finger here. He just pokes in, stabs some guy in the eye, and it allows OpTic to kind of sit 2 people at the B bomb site, so it doesn't matter if they're going to get flashbangs out. Shazam's here. It looks like OpTic are pretty well prepared for what Splyce have in their... have in their minds. And, well, it's all down to Cutler. He's got no armor, still managed to get a kill. Takes down Shazam, who was getting a little bit over-aggressive. Cutler trying to find whatever he can, but Config is already rotated over, and he's going to find 2 kills.
Look, if you don't like hearing like some Australian man-child fanboying Config for this entire series, probably tune out early, to be honest. Anyway, 2 kills for him, actually. 2 for Cajun as well. It's good stuff from the Danish boys.
The Great Danes?
They're pretty great.
They're massive.
Oh, anyway, I thought you were talking about the people.
I was talking about the dog breed, the Great Dane.
Huh?
Yeah. Splyce are going to force up in this. So they weren't able to get the bomb plant down. Config not pushing.
It's got to be limits. He knows the frags will come.
I mean, it's going to be config, right? 5 rounds if he's starting to get a confident lead.
He's M4 is this. What a great name.
It's the M4A4.
He could just do no wrong.
Is there going to be a boost coming out?
All right, Davey.
Yeah,
he's not going to let him do it twice.
Yep. Tactical Mastermind Davey, as Exotic is going to be the one that pays the price. Davey, is he going to...
He's already started the false sense of security mind games. Let's config have that last one.
Yeah.
Next round. It's ready.
This may be a bit of a weak point now on the A bomb site if Cajun B does go down. He's playing Heaven. Both OpTic members on the A bomb site, they're not playing in tradable positions, which to me is pretty dangerous. If Splyce do decide to go somewhere, eventually, time is dwindling away, they're going to have to commit onto the A bomb site by the looks of it.
That smoke's going to give a lot of info to Splyce. They know that's come out from like back of bomb train, Heaven or ladder.
But are they going to check Heaven? That's the real question. Davey is slowly checking the lines, and he spotted out Stanislaw, but Stanislaw's just tucked his way into a corner. And Semphis, oh my goodness, Cajun B just barely missing the information, but doesn't matter because Stanislaw is watching the sandwich corridor, and as Splyce are getting split up, they're not trading each other out. And Shazam's been spotted out. Well, that's sharp. Stanislaw just sitting there. 4 kills for the round. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really insightful comments.
I mean,
Hilly.
Splyce walked out onto some lines. OpTic had their crosshair on those spots.
And tapped.
They pressed mouse 1.
What was if they used mouse 2 for...
Davey also pressed mouse 1.
For plus attack.
I use spacebar.
Spacebar. I use mouse wheel for dualies. Just scroll away.
Pistol-y. Spamming the mouse bar.
Yeah, I just remember like the
Spacebar.
uncapped pistol fire from the like certain other first-person shooters. As Gade, it's gonna be spawning a few team members. He shouldn't be too scared though. Shazam's still here, and Gade is just gonna drop a incendiary grenade and just peek in.
Be danger territory. They're all playing such.
I was gonna say what Splyce should do
rifles.
right now is like a double drop. You get 2 people dropping down SL.
Interesting that Cajun's playing the SL spot or the pop dog place, and you got Gade on the inners. I'd assume that would be the other way around. Like Cajun's always been more of like a passive kind of rifler, but he's playing up in the pop dog, so might indicate like a willingness to sort of change his game style up after so many years.
Yeah, that's good. I think times shift. Some things remain the same. People shoot each other in Counter-Strike, but the way that you do so is vastly different. I mean, even with Counter-Strike, you think, all right, you know, there's certain changes to guns. I mean, but just sometimes how the metas actually work out is completely different as well, just outside of all the gun changes. But this is the buy round from Splyce, so we'll be expecting a little bit more action this time around. They're looking like they're setting up for an A-site smoke set, but Stanislaw's already pushed into CD connector on the back of a few flashbangs and a deep smoke grenade.
That's T connector, Kevin.
Oh, sorry. What did I say? CT connector?
Yeah.
Oh, minus the C. There's a CT in there now, so that's CT connector.
I think Davey's just expecting some unreal aggression out from OpTic. He always seems to be literally sitting in some random spot, holding, waiting for someone to push. It's not a bad bet, to be honest. Here comes the outers exec from Splyce. 3 wall of smokes onto the bomb train, 1 onto sandwich. Are they going to swing out the E-box side? How many kills is Cajun going to get? He's got 1 creeping up. No, he doesn't. That's just mine.
Did Semphis spot him on... I don't think Semphis spotted him on the jump because he wasn't on pallet. So they're going to come out right now. Drone's completely blinded out. Yep. And he's just sitting there, just confidence, knowing that they can trade each other out. And it's suddenly just down to Exotic, who's just stuck by himself. Shazam's going to find the AWP kill. And you can see how...
I've never seen a spray down look so easy.
It's just 3 people slumped over each other's dead bodies. It's like clinical, clean killing field coming out from OpTic Gaming.
Barely even moved his mouse, mate.
That's called effective crosshair placement, where you don't have to move it as much. You just keep it clean.
How much did he actually move? A little bit.
If it was an Asian player, it'd be about, you know, 1 centimeter.
He would have done a 180 with what Cajun just did.
Maybe not that much, but that was clean from OpTic Gaming, not losing many guns, and now they're starting to build up a serious economy. Are they going to drop an SL? They've got CZs this time. No, they're going to be committing to the B bomb site.
Gade.
Interesting to see Gade here with a FAMAS when they have a double AWP set up on the A bomb site. Config's got the AWP.
it's actually genius because he's looking to give them the FAMAS instead of giving them the pistols, which can actually do damage. So he's baited Exotic into now using the FAMAS.
Yep. Okay, so 500 IQ players coming out from the Europeans.
Oh, he's given it to Semphis. Nice.
Now a double drop should occur. That's what they're going to do here. Are they? Are they going to take a long way back? Splyce has been very, very slow so far. And they're not taking map control with this time, which is really, really bad. Because OpTic, they're more than happy to play patiently. So maybe David was expecting OpTic to play just completely disrespectful.
Yeah,
it's
they
not
are.
happening.
That's what it looks like, what's happening. But honestly, I don't mind it because I feel like so many of these underdog teams, they get the rounds over so quickly. And all of a sudden, you're down like 8-0. And you're like, where did the rounds go, boys? Half the half's over and we've played for 5 minutes.
To be fair, it's about to hit 5-0 soon, unless there are some really good kills from Splyce and really good trading. But with that, like, they push back, and they just come back in. Like, they're just wandering around trying to find any over-aggression.
It's really good stuff, because the thing is, like, you can punish them over-aggression, or you can get a couple extra kills where you normally wouldn't if you were just rushed out into a crossfire. And it can kind of make your opponent respect you a little bit more, help make them push a little bit less, make them feel like the game's a lot slower than it actually is, because you're just running down the clock. Like, these are the kills that you wouldn't have got if you just ran out of the choke point.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's actually reset it to a 2-on-2, so the FAMAS actually able to get a kill on one of the AWPers and Config fast out. I don't think he's going to be expecting Exotic so close to him, who's just... I don't think also expecting Config to be here, who's going to check the angle, gets a pretty easy kill on Exotic, and they don't know that Semphis is behind him. I think Cajun B's just caught whiff of it, and it's going to turn around and be able to take him out. They were thinking whether he could cross to oil, but the
what
case
are those
wasn't.
gloves? I've never seen that before in my life.
Why is his knife just named R?
I don't know. You don't reload the knife.
R to reload the knife? I don't know.
Switch to your pistol. It's faster than reloading, unless it's the CZ.
Nice. Your watermelon knifing skills are impressive. So Splyce have another chance of putting a round on the board. This is probably the best chance they have. They've got the full set of utility, or so far, full set of utility. Now they AWP out on Exotic as well.
Config secondary AWP instead of Cajun. Okay.
Who in this OpTic lineup can't pick up an AWP? I swear I've seen Stanislaw with the AWP before as well. I've seen him with an AUG, mind you, so... They're going to spot Cutler jumping out of T-Connector. Otherwise, Splyce, once again, just playing very patient, really slowly. Deep smoke grenade, just going to be taking control of T-Connector one more time. Stanislaw, just a routine play coming out from OpTic.
And it just falls straight out. He realizes how much Splyce is playing passively. And this extra time that they're going to use, look how much of incendiaries, smokes, mollies they've got. I already said mollies. Flashbangs. Just routinely taking different parts of the map, running down the clock. When the execute comes out, drop a bunch of mollies, counter flash, or if you're Cajun, sit on one angle, barely move your mouse and spray them all down.
It's the most efficient way. If you can click better, then...
Config pushes in front
yeah,
of his
Config
smoke
is just confident at the
10.
moment. He's just not even scoping up, so dropping a single flashbang, and then he's going to bail that back into where the Molotov faded out. Now, Splyce, they've got 3 at Ivy, 1 above SL, and 1 at T-Connect. Oh my goodness, just as the smoke is fading, there's Exotic, and he's going to collide Semphis. He's spotting the arm out. He knows the AWP is there. That's 2 kills. Really risky for him to wide strafe out. Wasn't expecting Davey there, but this has already done enough damage. They can't execute onto the bomb site. Drone somehow wins the one-on-one against Stanislaw, but they're just going to have to save right now. There's no way in. They can't get to the B bomb site. They can't even get into the A bomb site in time. Still 3 members here. And
this is so weird. I've never seen a game where Cajun B looks so much better than his opponents. What do you mean?
do you mean in the sense
like
because
he's never like out-aiming and out-skilling people, just like killing everyone so easily? I feel like he's always just like that 80 damage player who just 1-for-1s or whatever most of the time. Like, since he was in Astralis and he was like secondary AWPing and stuff, I feel like he's never had like massive performances in North. It's always just like, I'm holding a line with an AWP, I'm shooting this guy, like barely moving my crosshair, I'm on this like standard line shooting this guy. He's like pushing up into Pop Dog, he's aggressive T-Con.
That's good. I mean, it gets
literally
practice.
Never seen him do that before.
Change up coming out from both sides, actually. So Config trying to get aggressive, but Davey is going to punish him for it. That's a good adaptation from Splyce. They call for the flashbang to allow Davey to safely peek into the AWPer. Splyce have the numbers advantage, but what are they going to do with it is a real question. And what are OpTic going to be doing to try to retake map control? They're going to be sitting patiently.
It's a great dub.
Sorry?
He just dunked Davey, Stan.
And 30 damage to the nade.
Hey, turned his M4 into an AK, Kev.
If he's able to land the headshot.
Turned his AK into an M4, or the other way around, maybe.
Do you need another coffee, Mitch? I feel like you need another coffee at this stage. Not exaggeration of the year, mind you. And Splyce are looking to, you know, once again, taking their time. They've got the opening pick, so they don't need to be too flashy or too rushy in terms of where they're going to be pushing in. Now they're going to make this. Yep, so now they're going to try and make a contact play on B, and I think Gade is now aware of some of the danger. The time is 30 seconds. This is when a team needs to execute. That is almost a perfect grenade. That is oh, it's not as good as I thought it was going to go.
And he's gonna, is he going to turn and hold upper?
He's just going to be letting them drop down. He's going to try and take down Drone, but he can't even get the kill on one of them. And I think that's the game change. That's what seals the deal for Splyce. They're able to probably now roll on and win this round. If he was able to get one, maybe two there and buy enough time for the rotation to not allow Splyce to push up so deep, maybe in a different game. But as it stands, that's not the case. Splyce have full control of the B bomb site. Still have utility and Molotovs to lock them out with, but they're still crossing thresholds they should have been in Shazam. Not only missing the AWP shot, but Flashbang clips the little ledge of the wall.
I feel like Sempha's just got his beanie shot off. Good round from Splyce. Good job defending the aggression.
And really good contact play as well. Just making sure they're making their way up.
That's like honestly one of the best plays that you can make when you're a man up on train. Just literally contact out inner. No crazy smokes or anything. You just jump down together, get the trades, get control of the CT connector and Molotov it off and don't let them out it. You've got a 5-on-2 where it's impossible for the CTs to rotate.
Engage. I mean, I think Gade realized what was going on as well. He dropped the nade at the perfect timing, which is, you can't ask for a better HE nade.
There's an E-box smoke out from Zotic, and he's just going to hold back on that. Interesting to see what the difference is between more experienced players and less experienced players. We saw Rogue playing Complexity on this map. You know, you see Splyce throwing out the E-box smoke and the sandwich smoke. Complexity just plays full defensive, chills back, all on the bomb train. OpTic's doing a similar thing, but before we saw actually Cajun pushing up. Config almost gets caught off by Davey there, but really quick adjustments, stand on top of the bomb site, just getting picks over it. And that's the difference between the team, you know, of this experience and this caliber and a team like Complexity. Some people would be intimidated by these smokes.
Look at Config's gone. He's just sprinting all the other way around. Surely he's going to be hurt out. Stanislaw is actually going to go down, and Config, yep, Exotic hurt him. Config's probably making too much noise, and they can just go back to the B bomb site right now. But Gade.
What?
Yeah, it's going to be found out. Shazam gets one into Semphis, but Cutler's at E-box ready to get the trade. So Splyce, it looked a little bit scary at the beginning when they lose the first couple of kills, but able to trade each other out efficiently, and now we've got a game under their hands where OpTic now starting to be slowly punished for not holding onto the A bomb site. They can still buy up here, but that's the last of Cajun's bank account gone.
Okay. So Splyce starting to make this game a little bit more interesting.
Okay, that's a really unique buy that's coming out. So Stanislaw picked up a CZ because he didn't know that there was a rifle on the ground, and that CZ could have meant a kit.
Nah, he's alright.
He's alright,
if they're getting on the bomb site, then OpTic's probably not executing their game plan very well, which is showcased in that little engagement there.
I mean, Stanislaw got one kill, but they're just not getting enough kills to kind of, you know, trade it back out efficiently. And now look at this. Cutler's trying to come out of sandwich. Stanislaw's not spotting him out. Yeah, spectator smoke, but it doesn't matter as it fades. Config picks up the kill. And Cajun B also finds one with the AWP, and Semphis is looking to pick up Stanislaw at Old Hell. But he's debating what avenues that he has really to take the duel. And the AWP's been left in spawn as well for the T side. So they're going to have to go for eliminations. Stanislaw gives his life up. It really does if you think about it. Didn't really have to shift from that position.
Wow, that molly did a lot before Semphis moved out of it. Bomb's still in T-spawn. No one's even looking to go back for that.
They're going to go for the eliminations right now. 40 seconds. They're trying to flood in, but Config now with 3 kills. They know where the last one is as well. He's stuck in SL. Gade hard. behind his feet. Drone's going to climb up, but both sides going to be walking. Gade, his shadow's been spotted out, but it doesn't matter because
he's going to upgrade that to UMP as well. That's pretty big. Crucial
upgrades for OpTic as Splyce. They can force up in this if they decide to.
Yeah.
Davey's the only one with no cash. They're just not going to be able to get an AWP on Exotic.
You can buy one and light armor.
Or would you prefer the utility at this stage? So he's already got head armor, that's being counted out. He's going for the AK, and Davey's actually going for the UMP, so we might see a drop play coming out with the UMP. Not many other favorable positions you want. No, maybe they're just going hard B right now.
I mean, they're up against double AWP.
Cajun B trying to chance it at the edge of the Molotov, looking to see if any Ts were going to extend or overextend. Okay, he's just going to fall off the angle, but he doesn't know how many there are. He's going to suspect there's going to be quite a bit. Hasn't used the incendiary grenade. He's still holding onto it. Drone quite far up, not the inner ramp. All 5 of them here right now.
Rotator. Cajun comes back to inner after rotating out. Gade's in position. He's still got full utility. He hasn't used a single piece because he hasn't heard anything worthy of dropping any of his util.
With this, surely he's going to drop it, but it's too late. He's just going to make the contact.
I'm using that. I'm
just going to get 2 kills. And Splyce are unable to trade it. Smoke grenade comes in a little bit late, and Gade will finally get taken down. But that is a sick position coming out from Gade to get those 2 kills. Now Shazam knows where both of them are. That's a good flick from Shazam, and they know where Exotic is. Exotic trying to go for the deal. Somehow lands a headshot at long range after firing a lot of bullets. I think he was legged, but too much pressure from all sides. That was a good hold on the B-bomb. Especially from Gade. But losing a full bit of utility kind of goes... he did have utility to play with. I can't fault him for not pulling it out, but he could have used it earlier maybe. Decides to go for the engagement.
He's an aimer though.
He's an aimer. He's a gamer.
An aimer and a gamer. Well,
I think that's the difference.
Really going to need a bomb plant here.
That's the difference I feel like at the moment for OpTic. The way that they're aiming is just, you can see their crosshair is so effective. It's minimal movement to get the kills. It's pretty beautiful to watch as Splyce just going to be coming out fast, T-Con trying to flood their way in. Stanislaw blind for a long time, and OpTic, oh, okay, so Config goes down. Cajun B needs to be cautious, but he's found 3, and Stanislaw does go down to the drive-by P250. Semph is still trying to find more, but it's going to be Cajun B staying the ground with 4 kills.
Even after this long, it's just so ridiculous.
For the P250?
Yeah, just the A and D, M1.
Wee, pew, pew, pew. It's like the shortest barreled gun, and it's got amazing accuracy, which shouldn't work out in terms of physics. Nothing in this game actually works out in terms of physics. You can just drop down on your teammate's head, and you can stand on it. Physics!
I mean, haven't you seen those pictures where they're doing like the 3-man like towers on top of a skyscraper? It's the same thing, mate.
Yeah, but those guys have rigorous like core strength training, and Davey's trying to draw out the shot. Config having none of that.
He drew it out, that's for sure.
He drew out the shot, but it just hit Davey. Cutler's those managed to find Stanislaw at the same time. I think he was pushing into T connector, so he's going to be caught off this time. And a run boost. 1, 2. Dropping the bomb, and here we go. There we are.
We got there.
And Config goes, oh, so he run boost. Okay. I'm going to push up into the middle of the open and get killed.
I wonder if Config gets frustrated about those or whether he just doesn't care.
I think he'd get frustrated about those. But really, he only has himself to blame in that kind of scenario. He knows one's run boosted across, so instead of just holding one angle, he decides to peek both.
I'm pretty sure Fur just doesn't care when he gets caught out and he's pushing stuff.
Yeah, well, you live by the sword, die by the sword, and Cajun B. It's going to find Drone, who's trying to push to the edge of the smoke. And still the T is just caught no man's land. Ooh, that's a nice shot from Shazam to do damage on the Cutler, but it doesn't land the killing blow. Now down to a 2-on-2. Cutler spotted out Gade. And OpTic just going to be playing patiently at the moment, because it's actually down to a 1-on-2. I think Semph was picked up by the AWP Cajun B from back of A2. And Cutler with only 24 seconds, he's going to try and rotate out to SL, maybe sprint to the B bomb site, but he's going to have to make a move eventually, so it's just going to... It's actually going to wait for Cajun B to re-peek out, and Cajun B has spotted him. Cutler's just going to go for the default plant, and Gade actually just going to be waiting, going to be strafing out wide. Doesn't cancel the plant, and Cutler. 2 heads to find. There's one! And Cajun B's whipped out the pistol. USP. Cutler so close to finding the head of Cajun B. Dancing around opposite sides. Cajun being in the open, but still landing the USB headshot down to 12 HP. That was probably a lot closer than they wanted. A good attempt from Cutler to try to bring it so close, but OpTic Gaming will be able to put its double digits. Splyce, I think their economy has been reset. They can still buy.
Yeah, they've got a lot of loss bonus built up at this point. Been a while since they've seen the light of a T round. That was a pretty close one. They're actually going to half buy and go for the double buy into the last two. Not a bad idea.
And make sure they get all the utility. They might try the same strategy. Okay, there's a bit of adaptation. They're going to throw the T-connector smokes, and probably Davy's just going to be the sacrificial man.
Though. He's going to get all the info.
If he hears it, and Splyce actually cancel on this. They throw the smokes.
They don't know what they're doing, mate.
This has been just a... This is an adaptation gone wrong. Counter flashes and smokes. Drone, what? Drone just drives by and just takes down Cajun B. And Stanislaw standing in his own Molotov finds one. And this is really interesting where OpTic have allowed Splyce to come really, really close. And against, I think I can slowly start seeing where it can go wrong for them. So Splyce at the moment, that was an eco round where they're getting a few kills, but they're not able to trade each other efficiently out. Imagine they're versing a better team. A better team, like those S-tier teams that we're talking about, can punish OpTic for the setup at the moment.
Cajun B's 17 for 2, by the way.
He's just slowly getting kills. I remember one round where he just had a point-and-click adventure. And Shazam, talking about point-and-click adventures, finds Drone trying to surf out. Stanislaw in the middle of a Molotov at Sandwich has to extinguish it for himself.
Yeah,
and he's just going to stand in it for another 36 damage as it spreads. And this is... And Splyce do really well to read the fact that A site's really weak. And it's down to a 2-on-2 again. As Cutler's able to come out. Shazam coming up, misses a shot. And where is
Speaking
Cajun
of
B?
adventures.
Going on a long journey. Going to be repositioning himself and now walking exotic. Is he going to catch wind of it at E-Box though? So many lines for him to check right now. The bomb plan has gone down.
Shoot the first guy? That's the question.
Yes, he needs to. He's going to suspect the last one's the carry, and Cutler just out in the open. Not fast enough to adapt. Really good rotational play from Cajun B. But once again...
That's Cajun 2 for 2 in the clutch.
Cajun B, more like Cajun A.
Is... Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. His clutch stats are pretty good across the board, especially on land. So online it's
pretty
too easy.
Quote unquote.
Probably the best. I wonder if he's got the best clutch rate for an AWPer. I mean, I guess Simple.
Simple's the best at almost everything.
Almost?
Almost everything.
What's he not the best at?
Being bad at the game.
Actually, we were playing it. We were playing a scrim the other night, and someone was doing the Simple wallbang on Cobble from lower mid, and he goes, and my teammate he hits it like 2 or 3 times in a row. He goes, "Thanks, Simple." I'm like, dude, he's so good. He's winning games. He's not even playing.
The Splyce not going to be throwing any A-site smokes. They're going to go back to B and see if they can make it work out. I don't necessarily approve of this. They haven't shown any presence of the A-bomb yard. Shazam's rotated and should just stay and watch the upper line.
Ooh, he's not going to be soon enough.
Oh,
he's let Gate die.
Yep.
Unfortunate. 1 for 1. There's a molly. Is that going to stop the plant? I don't think it's spreading far enough.
No, Cajun B Cajun B so close to going down the Molotov. He had to run out of the smoke.
Semphis on an adventure. Shazam, how...
Shotgun AWP, no scopes one, clearing the smoke. Semphis is pushed all the way around, finds Cajun B. Yeah, this is just duels all over the place, and the T's are split up. Shazam's just going to be smoking up the bomb, and Exotic is going to peek out. Config comes out the smoke just a little bit late, but he knows where both of them are. So he's going to drop another smoke grenade, or he's going to drop a flashbang a little bit too early. He's on the right side, but Davey is aware. If the spray is not killing there, he's got to switch it up a little bit. So Splyce do manage to pick up 3 rounds on the T side. And yeah, like I was saying, is that OpTic, sure, they're playing... I can't even say they're playing poorly, obviously, because they're getting the rounds, but there are a lot of flaws on their bomb side holds.
Yep.
Thanks to the valuable
just a better team.
Better team. It doesn't matter if you got flaws.
Not a better team, they're just better players.
But that comes into the question, you know, when they're trying to make a deeper run against you know, more established and maybe not better on paper in terms of individual firepower, but in terms of overall team-wise better, that's where some of my concerns are going to start coming up.
Where's I'm a pet? Where's he at? Please hope to God he's taking notes and just like he's just like holding it up in front of him, because there's so many like flaws that this is like gold for him.
Maybe OpTic don't play train too much as well. This isn't their map pick after all. It's Splyce's map pick. So maybe it's some crucial information as well that they can make.
I'm to think of that. I can't remember the last time North played train.
Not very often, I think.
I picked it against Astralis a while ago, and I think they got the upset.
That would have been a long time ago. Astralis aren't really known for playing train as well, are they?
It was with Valdi, so.
Yeah, Cajun B just going to get shot off. Who was trigger happy? Gade. Gade's always been trigger happy, but Cutler's going to be dinked out. The CZ from Config trying to find the head of Exotic. You can see every single bullet just missing by the barest of margins. Cajun B is going to find one. And OpTic already found 2 pistol kills. Cutler has to rotate a long way around because he's locked out of it. But this long rotation means that either the CTs have to wait or... And as they wait, time's going to be ticking away. And if the kit's lost all the way back at A2, just like it is right now, well, they're losing everyone except for Semphis right now. And I don't think any amount of deadlifts is going to help him right now because he's going to go down without too much of a fight. So I think this game should be over and done for as OpTic on the pistol. Should be rolling ahead now. On both pistols, actually.
Yeah, I'm going to bet on it. 4 AKs, Galil, and CZ. Config doesn't feel like buying a proper gun.
That's 6 guns you just mentioned to me there, friend. 4 AKs.
Yeah.
Where's the 4th AK, dude? That's a Galil. Stop insulting the AK-47.
That's a couple of AG grenades.
That do no damage.
I feel like Gate probably should have died there, but, you know.
Why didn't they charge down? The guy was reloading. Exotic's now pushing in, so they've got a lot of information on the B-bomb side, but Shazam's already walked all the way up.
I feel like it's just deathmatch at this point. Like, they're all just walking around each other.
And Config's just like, I have CZ, I killed 2 people.
Okay.
Yep.
That's a pretty good, yeah, great round.
Great round? Good round, great round, good job. It's pretty standard. I mean, they just waited for any aggression from the CTs. Shazam was there just pushing up and
He was in
kills.
hell.
He was in old hell already. Just slowly walking out.
The rest of his team's like above SL and T-Con, and he's just in hell. Alright. And he had an AK as well. He just give a better team an AK, yep.
Double nade onto the bomb site and some counter nades, I think. Splyce have forced up one more time and Davey should be spotted out. We'll lose a kill against Shazam, who's managed to make the entry onto the B bomb site. They don't know it just yet, but Splyce have to rotate a long way out. Oh, that shot from Semphis, but insta-trade coming out. Now both members are, now OpTic just flooding onto the site. Splyce, no way for them to try to make their way into the site. Config's just tapping away. There's only so much time that you can kind of shoulder peek because you know OpTic at the stage, you can just be pushing up, going for the kills. And there it is. A very, very quick map point coming out from OpTic Gaming.
Cajun and Config are literally smurfing right now.
Shazam's actually had a pretty good game as well. A couple of good flicks. I mean, I think the stats are pretty hyperinflated from those previous couple of rounds where he's been able to get kills on the anti-eco.
22-3. That's like over a 4 rating, isn't it?
No.
No?
Depends on how much damage you've done. I mean, we can take a look at the stats afterwards and make a comment there. But as it is, it's going to... sorry, not Semphis, but Splyce going to have no money. That's a shot and a half from Shazam.
That's game.
I think that's pretty much it. Knows where Exotic is, and doesn't matter how close they try to swing. There's a flashbang to allow them closer access, and he gets him through a flashbang. Shazam feeling it. Semphis, he's feeling it as well. And Config, you know, just casually walking out of SL.
He's literally just been crab walk spraying this entire T-half.
Doesn't know that Cutler's here, so Cutler should be able to pick up a pretty easy kill. Still crab walking. Cutler's like, oh, where is Config gone? And Config has now been spotted out. The CZ, inaccurate long range. Config just swings on him. And now it's old mate Davey left by himself, who's not going to find anything more. Config makes it look too easy with the AK-47. So yeah, 16-3. Not much else to say about that. I mean, we've seen 16-3s today. We've seen one already. We've seen one-sided games, but that one was probably pretty painful. That's where you just go, Splyce didn't make the adaptations in time. They looked all out of sorts. You know, they were expecting OpTic to go really aggressive. A lot, like really sloppy play from both sides, but the mechanical prowess of OpTic at the end just seals it.
Yep, they're just better players.
Any other input other than they're better at mouse wanting and pressing the keyboard?
No.
Do you think they could type up a Word document efficiently? What would their word per minute count be?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter? Okay. You got to give me something to work here, Mitch. I mean,
all right. Well, the headshots per minute, lot higher.
Okay, what do Splyce need to change? That was their map pick and train, and last season we saw them pick.
That was their pick.
That was their pick, and
Oh,
that's
God.
so obviously a lot of things for them to work on because it's been a season and they're reintegrating 2 people in the lineup. But we saw how well
They used to be pretty good at train.
Yeah, I mean they got 0-16 by SK.
That was we all know the circumstances of that game.
23 dimensional chess coming out from Davey. I mean, but like all jokes about dimensional play aside, I mean that was a one-dimensional play from Splyce. It never at any point was it going to be, oh look, they made a play where they had the map control. They were able to take fights against Config because Config was playing really smart and really safe. Config was playing over aggressive Ivy. That's the only reason in my mind why he died.
He got caught out like 3 or 4 times.
Exactly.
And they never converted the round.
And they never converted the rounds from there. So it's kind of like from there on in. I mean, sure, the rest of OpTic definitely stepped up and had a lot of multi-frag rounds. I think Cage and B once again, and Shazam were the standout players for OpTic. But it was just, in essence, where Splyce just never did anything here. You can see this round, right? Ivy, there's no pressure coming out of T-Connector. What are they expecting to achieve after this Ivy kill? Where are they going to go from here? There's no pressure on A bomb site. Why would the A players decide to go somewhere else? There's no pressure on other parts to push the CTs back.
They don't need to. That's the answer. So.
But
I mean,
this is the consequences of the result.
He just crab walk sprayed the entire game.
Yeah, and this is the consequences of the result. Where the rounds that Splyce did win, it was because a couple of clutches resolved in their favor. I mean, OpTic, don't get me wrong, won their own clutches.
Too. The only time Splyce even made it close to converting any rounds, Cajun just won the clutches.
Yeah, and Cutler was able to only clutch out 1 single round for Splyce, which was probably the highlight point.
In a 16-3.
Exactly. So, which isn't many highlight points for Splyce. A lot of work for them to do at the end of the day on their own map pick. And coming on to the next map pick, it may just be even more painful as well because that is going to be OpTic Gaming's map pick. And at this stage, for OpTic, they're, like you said, play really, really loose. That's all they need. They just walk out and get kills. Maybe they get punished by better teams, which is why we see the complete inverse results, as well as by the confidence factor and the form factor as well.
It's not a good result for either team because OpTic doesn't learn anything. They out-aimed and out-skilled a team that they're better than on paper. So it doesn't really teach them anything about their train. Doesn't help them improve whatsoever. Splyce didn't learn anything because they just got out-aimed. So, really we all lost unless you enjoy watching highlight reels of Cajun being config.
And you're the biggest OpTic fan. I was the biggest Splyce fan, and we're left a little bit...
Where you at, Kev?
A little bit disappointed by the boys, I'm not going to lie. It was very similar to what we saw last season, I mean, that was the thing coming in, because maybe it's a little bit harsh from us as well, because we did see Rogue versus Complexity. Even though they were very similar score lines, the game panned out very differently. The CT side this time was supreme on train, but when it came to before, it wasn't as if Complexity just rolled over and died. It was Rogue just playing better.
So here's the big questions about OpTic's lineup. Shazam's quite a good player.
Keep it simple.
Yeah, okay. Shazam's a good player. The 2 Danish guys are a good player. Gade is horrendously inconsistent. Stanislaus' individual form has dropped off a cliff. I think those are the 2 players that we need to see completely turn their game around if OpTic's going to be a S-tier team in the Karath ESL Pro League rankings. Just
overall rankings. But that's it for map number 3. We should be jumping to map number 4, and let's see if Mitch's answers will be answered after the break.
Incendiary out.